Last week we said goodbye to NAFTA and ushered in a new era of trade between the US, Mexico, and Canada. For good or for worse, NAFTA brought these countries closer together. Friends tell me that no longer did they have to stuff bags of candy into their luggage on their way home from trips to the United States. But for me, whether it's a can of chili or a favorite cake mix, I have always been able to find it on the shelf of my local grocery store right here in Mexico because of NAFTA. But as the owner of American barbecue restaurants right here in the city, the agreement doesn't really change much for us. The relief is that the deal is better than what would have happened if there was no deal. Although we are proud to use mostly products that are made here in Mexico, like the meat we buy from places like Sonora and Tamaulipas, there are some products that contain ingredients from the United States, like the hops in our artisanal beer, or some of the specific biodegradable containers that we use that aren't available in Mexico. Without an agreement, increased tariffs would have made these products very expensive, limiting our offerings or having to pass these costs to our customers. I'm sure the same goes for American businesses who can take advantage of imports of avocados and listen to this, charge $14 for avocado toast. That's right, Mexico. In some restaurants, they take a piece of toast, smear a piece of avocado on it, and charge the equivalent of 300 pesos. And the gringos love it. I'm hoping more salsa is imported too, because you have to admit, American food can be pretty bland. Mexicans can stop carrying bottles of salsa matcha in their purses when going to a US restaurant. Sorry, Tabasco sauce isn't salsa. The deal has already provoked Mexico to review and modernize its intellectual property laws. We fought hard to register Pinche Gringo barbecue as a registered trademark, and now the new law removes this standard of morality or good manners in winning this approval. So never again, because of USMCA, will I have to prove that the word pinche is really just the assistant to the chef. Also, some of my Mexican friends say that the country is enjoying unprecedented great relations with the US, and another 4 years of the current administration could be better for the country. But I'm not sure that's accurate. Have you ever had a friend that makes you do things you don't want to do, and then if not, they won't invite you to their party? Same thing happening here. Protect the borders or we will do things to mess up your economy, or something like that. Please also remember that the passage of this trade deal wasn't necessarily because the administration really cared deeply about the development of the Mexican economy, but because of the strong business interests that rallied to make sure the US did not pull out of the deal. A great example of how much Mexico means to the economic engine of the United States. What I've learned with running barbecue restaurants is that it offers authentic, slow-cooked American food to Mexicans in Mexico is that it's important to forge a mutual friendship, one of understanding, cooperation, and most importantly, to be humble. Maybe Mexico doesn't have as robust of an economic engine or a large military apparatus than the US, but is that really the most important indicator of quality of life? I think here in mi Mexico lindo y querido, we have a much better work-life balance, a colorful culture, great music, delicious food, and biodiversity. It's a different life, and maybe no pasa nada is not a great economic concept, but it's one that promotes happiness. I'm not knocking the United States. I'm proud of where I come from, but I'm encouraging my adopted country to not succumb to el melinche, to stand up for itself. Because what I've learned in my almost 11 years here, that what happens here is not necessarily right or wrong or better or worse when comparing to the US, it's just different.